You are, in fact, watching The Dorkening.
You're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned.
For all the geek news everywhere. Dorkening.
And this is The Dorkening. Trust me, I'm smarter than these guys.
Because The Dorkening is the best and most educational entertainment and information source that the Trauma team knows of. It's the best. The Dorkening.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody watching Splash Pages, the comic book club. We got an awesome show scheduled for you. Hey, Angela, how's it going? A bunch of people watching, so we're going to be doing a recap of Terrificon today, and we have our pictures, we have footage, interviews. Holy crap, the guy has nabbed an interview with Dave Foley. Oh, my God, just insane. You're going to see Deadpool. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Velvet, we had such a fun time, didn't we?
Absolutely. Oh boy, there's the voice. There we go. Yes, it was a busy day. We're all kind of tired. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
We're going to talk about Terrificon. I had nothing but positive interactions, and we had a good time. And we're going to tell some stories about it tonight. And we've got two of our guys that are actually on vacation. That's my good buddy Drew Mollo and our buddy Jar Jeremy, but we got two other guys that are going to help us out tonight, friends to the show. We got Mr. J-Bo McNeil, Toy Man.
Hey, guys.
And he was actually a vendor at Terrificon this year, so we're happy to have his insight, and he's a follower and friend of the show. And then we have our good buddy, Mr. Van Samson, Stephen Van Samson. There he is. Sexy beast. Look at that beard. Woo woo.
How's it going, guys? Long time no see.
Oh, yeah. And you know, Deadpoo himself is popping into chat here.
Oh, there he is. Not quite on vacation yet.
Drew, you're blessing us with your appearance.
I'm only on for a little bit, and then I'm going to die.
Oh, that was brief. That was very brief.
Subtle, Steve-O.
So, Leo, set it off. You're the head of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Where we had a table, a very impressive table this year. So why don't you set it off?
Yeah, totally. And I just want to say that as I pull up the pictures here, we have to commend Drew. Holy crap. Saturday, as busy as it was, going almost a whole day dressed as Deadpoo. You were a puddle of sweat when you got out of that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Only a puddle, Drew?
It was only, yes, it was, yes. And yes, Steve, I don't even have a response for it. And I kept coming. I was like, oh, I'm going to get out of the suit. And I kept putting it back on. I was like, nope, I haven't suffered enough today.
This is what I deserve. Did you have to pour yourself out of it like Ted Raimi in The Evil Dead 2?
I think literally I peeled myself out like the dirtiest banana in the world.
Oh, gross.
You know, like
I had to unzip you.
Oh my goodness! I didn't realize it was this kind of show. Splash Pages.
Yes, you know, but also I need to get this correctly, and because this keeps happening. It's DEADPOOH. People keep spelling it without the H, and I was like, I'm Mr. Hanky.
I edited it. I realized the mistake. I apologize.
No, it wasn't you. That's happened with other people, and I'm just like, I'm not Mr. Hanky in his poo costume here, you know.
I admit I did that. So I'm sorry.
You know.
Thanks, Leo. It was so great coming to Terrificon and working with y'all. You know, you just smell all nice and flowery.
You know.
So our booth was awesome.
Yeah.
And just incredible. I don't know if you've heard, but
yeah, Jeremy's not here because it's not because he doesn't have a laptop. It's because he's building that freaking Lego set that he won.
Jabo, I was there, I think, in the aftermath when he won it, and he was so happy. He put it in my hands, and I felt like I got like a contact champion high. I won this, and I was like, "Oh my God, you did!
Does anyone know because it was for some kind of question and answer trivia thing? Does anyone know what his winning question was?
It was just a bunch of Star Wars questions, I think.
He said, I know what he said. He said, like, what was Queen Amidala's like name or something like that? And seeing the pictures that he showed,
it was Queen Amidala.
It was like the woman, like he went to go and shake her hand, and it was like the woman wanted nothing to do with him. Like she was so pissed off. Like it was just too funny.
Nice.
You know, I mean,
sweet justice.
I just want to point out again, it was wonderful meeting everybody, because then I was just like, oh, you're tall. You know, it's just one of those, like, you're tall and you know,
velvety.
Look, that's his Masters of the Universe moment right there. He has the power.
He does,
but
yeah, that's a beautiful piece. Look at how big that is.
That I think is
now Jeremy is 6'4", so look how big that is.
That's what she said. But my point being is that's the best part I loved about it is I only got to talk to some of you via a computer screen for the last year or so I've been here. So it was really nice meeting everybody in person and being like, I was like, okay, you know, even people from our other network, I was like, oh, there are other worlds out there. Our little Dorkening universe here.
Go then. There are other worlds than these.
Exactly. Okay. The Dorkening multiverse.
Right. Speaking of which, it was great meeting Steve Van Samson. So,
Oh, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. I think meeting Drew and Rich, you guys, was one of the funnest parts for both Tim and myself. My co-host, Tim Krikorian, aka 8-Bit Alchemy from Retro Redoctopus, which is my show and his show as well. We got to represent with you guys on Friday. That was super fun. Loved meeting the two of you and hanging out with you guys and Leo and Steven, and got to walk the con floor with Steven. That was really fun. We got some cool pics, and yeah, I mean, Friday's lower key. The panels aren't quite as exciting or anything, but that just allowed us to have a lot more fun on the floor. So, you know, it is what it is. We had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday there was some awesome. There was awesome panels every day, but you know, Saturday is definitely, you know, the big day. But
Sure.
you know, if you're gonna be having fun you have fun every day, but Friday and Sunday,
I have fun every day.
Well, I know, but I mean, going to cons, you know, I enjoy Friday and Sundays best because that's, you know, when you can get around the con easily. You know, you can definitely, you know, it's easier to see the celebrities, easier to get your autographs, and
Easier to buy stuff from people.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, Jabo, you know, I went into the con floor once on Saturday and it was a friggin' madhouse. Like,
Yeah, it was insanely busy. Like, it was, I would probably say, is one of the busiest. I'd say it's probably one of the busiest days of the con. Friday was really good, steady, but once Saturday happened and those doors opened, once you saw them, you know, they had to go through the security check, which is cool, but once they were through that, they were going straight to the floor.
Yeah.
That was the first place they went because they wanted to go and see their favorite artists that were there. Like, they would hit Artist Alley up really quick too.
So I do want to address one thing that it was nice. Like, for me, this was my first convention in like 2 years. So it was nice being back, but it was also interesting because while some things never change, apparently, you know, things that definitely did, like, for instance, some people still don't know how to say excuse me or
use deodorant.
But
Deodorant,
that to me was, I was like, God, I wish this had changed. I was like, some of you.
Was that me? Because I didn't notice anyone stinking, so that means I must have been the stinky one.
No.
Well, if you were above armpit level, you were safe. If you were at armpit level, it was a living hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see one cosplayer. He actually would reapply his deodorant all the time. So props to that person that did that.
I respect that, man.
Unfortunately, Drew probably stunk to high hell after him sweating.
It's sealing the flavor.
No. First things first. I'm gonna debunk that myth. I was wearing 2 shirts underneath. Okay, and I had so much deodorant on. Okay, I was impressed that I wasn't smelly herb. There have been some where I'm just like, I peel out of the thing like Ghostbusters when they're covered in slime. Like, oh, get this off of me.
That's a great shot of the table right there. And also,
that was a boss photo. I was like, man, look, someone used that as a dating profile. Like, I was like, those are men.
I know every single person in that is just copying the best possible pose, and we're all doing different stuff. That's my favorite picture of the whole day for sure.
It's pretty rock and roll for a bunch of dorks.
Yeah.
I do sometimes bring that out in people. It's all about the attitude. That's all it is. You just got to live it.
You got a motivation face. That's what that is, Steve. You got that, just like, hear me now.
Yeah.
I will say things, and people are like, okay, we're gonna listen to this guy.
Motivation.
Yeah.
I get merciless a lot. That's my most common.
You've got a battle face.
Yeah, thank you.
You can just see that. That's the face just plunging a sword in someone's chest. Some battlefield.
That's how I actually perfected it. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the new boy band then, right?
Sure.
That's what that photo is. That's
Absolutely.
the new boy band of the Dorkening.
Yeah.
Nice.
From dorks to men.
Yeah.
I'm doing the nerdy thumbs up. Jeez.
Yeah, I like Leo's just got that. Like, I'm so happy to be here.
You'll get there, pal. You'll get there.
Yeah,
you just gotta hang out more. You'll be badass by the end of the month.
Leo, you and Steve look like guys who won a sweepstakes in the background.
Oh, we're the nerds, the cool kids. Let us hang around.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm in for the photo op. I'm part of the team.
Velvet, I gotta ask, when did you dye your hair? Was it like that morning? Because you did the eyebrows too, which is impressive.
I did. Well, that was just makeup. I didn't dye my eyebrows. I just make up the eyes. But thank you for noticing. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Like 3 days before Harley did it for me. But I mean, I'm pretty consistently green.
Gotcha.
Or shades of green, because sometimes it fades out and I let it fade out. But
I can agree to that. I've seen them.
Yeah, like I said, I met you and Drew that day, and I gotta say, man, you really lean into this Joker thing. You make a pretty goddamn good Joker.
He does.
I appreciate it, but I mean, I've been doing this since 1989 as a cosplayer, and this was interesting because I was trying to integrate the podcast personality and not totally give up the cosplay. So I went a little light with Friday with just the Joker T-shirt. And, with my own Joker style. And then Saturday with the more, I don't even know what you would call that jacket that I had, but flowing purple love.
Yeah,
that is a solid name. I think that's its name.
Yeah,
flowing purple love.
It's better that than what I called him, the Jolly Green Psychopath. But whatever works.
Yeah. But I've been a nerd for a long time. We all bring different nerd stuff to the table. I've always admired Drew's encyclopedic ability to pull storylines, names, and artists out of a hat.
I just like how I've become Rich's like nerdy Pokedex. He always was like, Drew, what was this? And I hate that. I'm like, that's that. And he's like, thank you. And I'm like, anything like you look good, bud.
Yeah, I listen. I appreciate and respect you and your knowledge.
Nice.
Leo, are we just watching the entire Dan Fogler interview panel in flash forward? Because I just felt like
I was trying to find you. I took a picture. The picture came up. I just wanted to say, like, the Dan Fogler, what you see on TV, like that jolly personality, he's just like that in real person. It was just I'll play just a clip of this.
You give with and not in proper movement comedy, yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You like doing physical comedy?
Yeah, I feel like it's funny to watch, but I also want to try to do it.
Yeah. Who's your favorite?
Favorite what?
Physical comedian.
I'm gonna say you.
We'll watch more of my movies. I was gonna say watch Carol Burnett, Lucy Healthy, and we were making this gigantic film in the middle of this chaos, That is the pandemic. And we did our best. I'm the most tested person on the face of the planet. We got through it, and then it was just like that we finished it, during that time. It was just like just very special to everybody.
Has there any concerns towards middle of filming or whatnot? It was going to just have to go straight to HBO Max, or was it?
Oh, I don't know about that. Straight to HBO. Wow, no. I mean, I think they were going to put it on the theaters no matter what. Yeah. Bring me your badge. What's your name, man? David.
He was funny. He was so funny. I will give him that.
Oh yeah, and he saw everybody that had a question. He did like a free autograph. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
He reminds me like Alan Tudyk, because Alan Tudyk does the same thing during his panels. Whatever he has up there, that man will autograph and give it to you. I've seen him give a coffee cup signed to a fan that asked him the question. He goes, "Now you have my DNA and you can clone me." When it comes around to that, and I'm like, "What?"
I do want to say being there on Sunday for the interviews was definitely one of the highlights for me. You know, it wasn't just participating in them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love hearing myself talk, but like watching how happy Kevin was when he was interviewing Dave Foley was just a delight. The same thing with we just saw Jeremy with Lionel. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like I've always said, you can sometimes tell a true nerd by if you yell Thundercats and then you just see who's just like, oh, I'm like, yep, this is a good room. It's good energy here. Yes. Oh yeah.
This was big for you, Drew, I imagine.
Oh yeah. So I don't have the audio sync to it yet, so we're listening to the camera audio, but we do have the microphone audio that I'll be syncing to it.
Okay, cool.
Once we post it, but you should be able to hear it.
That's what.
Hello, everyone. This is Terrificon 2022. We have Fabian Nicieza here. And yep, he's rubbing the honey pot, everyone. And we have him here. As we know, he's a famous comic book creator. And he's also working on a couple of books. And we're really glad to have you here. So, first question, do I call you Dad or like a co-dad?
You can call me Uncle Fabe.
Uncle Fabe it is. Wonderful. So, again, you've done a lot of comics and whatnot, but, you know, I'm sure that I cannot ask you anything that someone hasn't asked you about Deadpool and everything. So, what are you working on right now?
Right now, I just finished a short story from Marvel, and I am starting to percolate, as we say, a new digital comic project for Marvel that they just asked me about this week, which might feature a character that you're familiar with. I wonder who. This part here, not this part here.
No, yeah.
And
Could be anyone.
we'll
Could
see.
be anybody.
You know,
No idea. I don't understand what he's getting at.
Leo. So he did this. When I asked him to do an interview, he said, I will gladly interview. I just do not want. He was like, I do not want to talk about 30-year-old comics. And I was like, fair. To me, that just says, I don't want to talk about Deadpool. And then I was just like.
The fact that he had such a great sense of humor about it, Drew, just says something about his character. I can't wait to watch the whole interview.
Oh yeah, no, he was great from the beginning, middle, to end. He talked about comic projects he's working on. He's really pushing his books, which is amazing because so many comic creators do both. They write books and then they also do comics as well. But he still talked about, you know, Deadpool a little bit. You know, he's just got such a great sense of humor. I mean, he's been doing it. He's a career in comics over 30 years. You know, he's watched the rise and the fall. I mean, you know, he was great. You know, and honestly, I couldn't. That was by far one of my favorite interviews of the whole con. But nice. It was just nice. It's just when you interview people, I'm sure all of you can back me up on this too. It's just you meet them and you're like, yeah, you respect this person, but they're still people, you know. Absolutely. And it's just kind of nice to be on that same level. Because for a second you're like, you know what, I could be there one day on the other side of the camera. You know,
you are on the other side of the camera from my perspective.
Well, you know, thank you.
So I got to say, this was my first time being in this kind of situation where I'd be interviewing people or being possibly in that situation.
Right.
And I was kind of getting the lay of the land Friday, and I did not stay Sunday, unfortunately, and I do regret that. That is my one regret of the weekend.
Shame on you.
I didn't stay till Sunday, but I will know better for next time. But I just got to say, because Leo's got this picture up, Kevin was like, it was like his number one interview that he wanted to do was Dave Foley. Mm-hmm. And that guy right to the left of Dave Foley, his name is Scott Corcoran, and he was his handler this week. And I've known him for years from Terrificon, from going to Terrificon. So I hit him up, and I was like, "Listen, I've got one of my guys. They need an interview." And he's like, "Dave's a really good guy. You just approach him." And he says, "And if there's any issues, just have him talk to me." So it felt great teeing you guys up all weekend. I'm not saying I'm responsible for a lot of stuff, but it felt really good to be involved. I didn't get to directly interview anyone, but to experience watching the panels and to help you guys and get contacts for future interviews. It was just a totally tremendous experience. I just wanted to share that.
It's funny because doing interviews is addicting. Like I had one good one. I was like, oh my God, how many more can we get? Like I was like, I'm riding high on the interviews. And I was like, we're gonna get this person, this person, this person. Are they available? They're gonna say no? That's totally cool. There are like so many others. And I'm just like, we do not have enough battery for this.
Well, it's all about teamwork. I mean, everybody worked together so flawlessly. You know, it was just it was a very successful weekend. It was just
100%.
Over 20 hours or about 20 hours of footage that we captured.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's 20 panels, 10 interviews, and that's not even including the live streams we did as well.
Right. So that's to quote Nerd Hulk in Endgame, I'm going to call that an absolute win.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right?
Absolutely. Win all over the place.
Yeah.
I got to sit on 4 panels. Paul Kupperberg, friend of the show. The Shazam panel. The JLA voiceover panel, which, oh my God, I cannot stop thinking about.
So jealous. I couldn't have seen that.
That was great.
The magicalness of Susan Eisenberg as Wonder Woman, Tim Daly Superman, Kevin Conroy Batman, and Phil Lamar as Green Lantern.
Yep.
And them all giving us a little bit of the voices and a lot of background, and they all had great personalities. And I got to say, I'm super fanboying. Listen, I don't like guys, but goddamn, Phil Lamar's voice is sexy as shit. I don't fault people that do. I certainly don't have a problem with that. But goddamn, that guy's voice, even when he's just talking in his regular speaking voice, that was like my number one that I wanted to get an interview for. And interestingly enough, I've hit him up on the Terrificon site when he's doing posts and stuff. And a buddy of mine that I used to do Uber with back in Connecticut hit me up, and he's like, I totally drove him to Mohegan Sun, and I didn't know who he was.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Phil Lamar was
it's a small world.
Meeting Phil Lamar was definitely really, really cool. I've met Kevin Conroy in the past, so I didn't meet him this time. He had a pretty long line. I am bummed as a person who only went on Friday that I didn't get to meet Tim Daly, because Tim Daly, his version of Superman is my favorite Superman. I never was a Superman fan ever. I never cared about the character at all in the comics, and I always just drift. I tend towards more flawed characters, and for a really long time he was just a Boy Scout. So, but I don't know, there was something about that show. Obviously I loved Batman the Animated Series, and when Superman came out, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. Like, it's the same creators. I don't care about Superman, but sure, I'm down. And I liked Wings. I liked Tim Daly from Wings. And I love Superman the Animated Series. I think it gets nowhere near the credit that it needs to get. I mean, I think it gets the least amount of credit next to maybe Static Shock or something. I mean, like, everybody's all about Batman and Justice League and then Batman Beyond, but Superman the Animated Series gets slept on a lot of times, and I think it's just incredible. I love him. I was hoping to meet him. Also didn't see Larry Kenney or Mark Bagley on Friday. Kind of a bummer about both of them. I kind of wanted to do my Lion-O voice for Tom Kenny. Not Tom Kenny. What's his name?
Larry Kenney.
Larry Kenney. Tom Kenny, SpongeBob. But everybody knows that, right, Snarf? Did you guys get to talk to Larry Kenney and talk about the cat's lair and the sword of butt cracks and such? I don't remember what it was called. It was a long time ago on Third Earth, which is different than Middle Earth. It's the third one. But anyway, didn't get to see him.
Jeremy got to interview him. And,
very cool.
Steve, just so you know, on a personal note, which you won't see when you do watch the panel, at the end, I saw Tim Daly was talking to Mitch, who puts on Terrificon, and was meeting Mitch's mom and sister, who I had just finished talking to, and he seemed really genuine, and he really cared about what they said, and it didn't seem like he was fluffing them like actor fluff.
So cool.
So just so you know, for that extra nerd little piece
I love
behind
that.
the scenes, he
Yeah.
seemed like a really nice guy.
Seemed like
behind the scenes as well.
So you still have the pic, obviously, of Dave Foley up with Kevin, and I will say that as a fan, as somebody who goes to these cons, whenever I go, my goal is not necessarily to get the most autographs or to pay for the photo packages or whatever like that. My goal generally is to pick out maybe one or two people to get an autograph from. In this case, I only got one. It was Phil Lamar, actually. But I try to just have like interactions with people. I like to meet them. I like to try to have something to say that's not just like, oh, I loved you from that thing that everybody loves you from. Like if there's some sort of, other thing that I learned about them or something obscure I can bring up, they generally respond really well to that. And Dave Foley, I really just wanted to tell him how much I love the new season of Kids in the Hall. It wasn't really anything special at all. I just really wanted to express that because as a fan of the old Kids in the Hall, this obviously came out of left field. Nobody was expecting them to ever do this. And I think I've always thought the Brain Candy, the Kids in the Hall movie, was like the best Kids in the Hall thing. And I don't know. I think this new season maybe ousted that in my view. I just love it. I think it's so funny. And I had to tell him. So, I don't know how Dave Foley's going to be. I'm not going to buy anything from him. I'm sort of just making that clear, but I'm like, hey, I just want to come. Is it cool if I just kind of say hi? And he's like, sure, come on in. And I'm telling you, Dave Foley made eye contact with me the entire time. He was completely 100% right there with me, listening to everything I was saying. So incredibly grateful and happy to hear, not like, yeah, cool, man, thanks. Yeah, as he looks at his phone. No, he was like laser right there, and like just honestly very present as I'm just essentially gushing about this thing. But of course it is his new thing, which is nice. But so I had Tim right there, and Tim is my actual brother, but he's a lot younger than me. He's 12 years younger than me. So it's funny. So I'm talking Kids in the Hall, and then Tim slides in, and he's like, hey, so I actually never saw Kids in the Hall because I was too young. And he's like, I was too young to see it. And Dave goes, that's okay. I was too young to make it. So then they started talking about A Bug's Life, and it was honestly just my favorite interaction of the whole con. I really thought I was really impressed. Dave Foley was great.
That's awesome. And we had a couple questions come in. Tom is asking, will the Dorkening show up at next year's Terrificon?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
We loved it. So we're gonna try to get a booth every year. And Angela is saying, any upcoming events you will be attending? Yes, actually.
Yes, and we're looking for interns, Angela. So sign up to be part of the Dorkening. That's why there's an in Dorkening for interns.
So we're actually doing media packages now. We're going to be handling all the media and panels for Maryland Pop and HorrorCon, Tidewater Horror Convention, and that same group also does a convention in Georgia. I believe that's Georgia Pop and HorrorCon, which will be next year. And we're also looking at a couple more cons later in the year as well.
I volunteer as tribute to work the tables. or do the interviews. I am so in. Especially you said HorrorCon. I'm like, horror people are the best. But
yes,
but
we are.
On another note, Stephen, I totally agree with you on that because, like for instance, I was trying to get all of Saturday. I kept trying to get Jim Cummings' attention because I was dressed as Deadpooh, and he's been the voice of Winnie the Pooh for so long.
Oh, he has. That's true.
Yeah. So finally, like there's at one point there was no line, and I'm just standing in line waiting to meet him. And I just did the same thing. I was just like his, I guess, handler, person on the table took a photo of me because she thought it was awesome. And I was just like, I feel like I want to meet. I feel like we should meet, you being you. And he said in the Pooh voice, like, oh, bother. And I'm like, I know. I get that a lot. But no, he knew what I was. He was like, "You're Deadpoo," and I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "I was afraid of this."
I was afraid this would happen.
Yeah, and it's just, I was just telling him, like, I'm a big fan of your work. You know, I love the character. You know, as much as I love being ridiculous as Deadpoo, I really do my best to kind of honor the character too, because you know I'm never too extreme with the Deadpoo. You know, because yeah, Deadpool's crazy, but you know, Pooh is still a Disney character and a beloved one. So, you know, and plus, not gonna lie, a lot of kids really like seeing me in the Pooh suit. Like I've got hugged so many times. Like, so they'll just run up and be like, "Hug me," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, that's fine.
And then they realize you're just a walking sponge, and they instantly regret it.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
You just like, slurp.
Yeah, it's like Ghostbusters 2 is like, why am I dripping with the goo? But I agree with you. Sometimes you don't want an autograph. Sometimes you don't need a selfie.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to be like, "Hi, you're awesome.
Yeah.
We occupy the same Earth. Thank you for your time. Bye."
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had great conversations with Larry Kenny. I've become a close friend with him, and he is just an amazing person to talk to. When I talk to him, I initially, like, I see what he's done for voice acting, and I look at that and I'm like, this guy was Sonny from Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh yeah, he was part of our childhoods for sure.
He was Count Chocula. Like, I mean, I asked him, I goes, were there times like when you were doing any of these recordings, did you guys, I'll say flub because I don't know if this is a PG show, but
we're
I goes,
PG-13.
would you flub up lines, and would they still have the recordings? He goes, oh yeah, we have lots of those recordings of many things from many shows. I've heard Lino. Yes. Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard the audio clips from the Thundercats. Like what the fuck is a flabbo flange?
A Sammo flange. A fucking Sammo flange, snarf.
You know, I mean, he's awesome. I met his wife. His wife is very nice. He's even offered us stuff because I do a lot of charity work with Autism Speaks, and he's offered. He goes, anytime you need anything, this is my personal email. Send me this, and I'll send you something.
Personal beats, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I have a wife that will talk to any stranger that's on the street corner, and she sparks up a conversation with everybody. And Larry is just a down to earth guy, like you said, Steve. It's really about the eye contact because I've seen some celebs where they're like, they're listening to you talk, and then they're looking over to their line, and my wife has been a handler for celebrities for over 20 years, and like Kevin Conroy, like you said, that man, he is a legend. Like, I mean, my wife was his handler at Fan Expo one year.
Nice.
That man gets up on the chair and says his lines, and I'll tell you right now, I was a vendor in that show, and that guy got the crowd going like crazy.
Oh yeah, he'll put the chills right into you.
Oh yeah, you get the goose flesh, everything.
Yeah.
But when you talk to him on a human level, he's eye contact here, and he's talking with you about whatever you bring up.
Absolutely.
I had that same experience when I met Kevin Conroy a few years ago, for sure. It was at Providence Comic-Con. And I just basically told him what I always wanted to tell him, which is just basically, I'm like, you're the only actor I think that gets Batman because you simply understand one specific thing, which is that the fake voice has got to be Bruce. So your comfortable voice should be Batman. That's not the voice you're faking because he isn't Bruce Wayne. He's Batman and he's playing Bruce Wayne. And he's like, and he just was like 100% like right there and was just shaking his head and smiling. He's like, you got it.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, he's just an amazing person. Yeah. I wish that Terrificon, I wish I could have walked the entire floor. I was lucky if the only time I got to walk the floor was to go to the bathroom. And that was it, because I had my people saying, no, you need to stay here. You need to sell this stuff. You need to talk with people. And
you got away. You got away at least once, because I was visiting there, and your wife's like, "I don't know where Jay went. I don't know where Jay went. He needs to get his butt back over here."
Yeah, I mean, for me,
Does she really sound like that though?
No.
I'm just
Yeah, it's a total
Because
heartbeat.
Rich would be in a higher octave right about now.
Mhm.
You know, if she heard him say that, you know, but for me, it's very hard for me to leave
Understood.
the table. My wife knows what I have. She knows what I collect. She knows what I sell. But she needs me there to actually sell it to the person. Because for me, it's not just selling to a person, it's selling to another fan or collector that loves that genre. I've had John Burrowman come up to my table asking me for all Doctor Who stuff, Torchwood stuff, and I'm like, Arrow stuff. And I'm like, I don't have anything except for this comforter over here, but it's 95 degrees and I do not think you're going to want to wear that.
Yeah, and Jay, we get it. You're trying to sell product, but at the same time, you're also making a connection with another human being.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's a positive interaction for them, they're going to come see you the following show or the following year.
Believe it or not, Rich, I've had people follow me around from con to con over the years. I started doing this 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you right now, I was the most nervous 10 years ago doing it, because this is stuff that I've been collecting for over 35 years, you know, and I had stuff that my parents bought for me, my mother bought for me. And then when my mother had passed away, it was like, this is the hardest thing to do, to like let this thing go. But my wife said it the best, that don't think of it like you're selling it to just someone. That toy that your mother bought you is now going to someone that else enjoys it even more, you know. And that right there was like, oh yeah, that made it even easier for me to let some of the things go. And I still have a collection that does not go anywhere. It stays here and nowhere else. It just goes in my little collector's case that I have, and that's it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and
I know you're buying and looking all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to meet some really ghouls. I've met Sir Anthony Daniels, nicest man that I've ever met. I mean, that guy will talk to you. I met Brent Spiner. I've seen his stills from Night Court when he played the chicken farmer.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, he's just like you said. If they can't make eye contact with you, then you know they're there strictly for the money.
Yeah, and
that's
even then, that you can have a good interaction if they're kind of like that too. There are levels to it, you know. I found like the best is eye contact. They're 100% present. You feel like you're heard. You feel like they care. And then there are other times where they're listening. They're just kind of looking around, like you said. And I mean, Jim Cummings was like that to me. And I mean, it was okay. We had a good interaction. He was funny. He did a voice. He did a little Hondo from the Clone Wars, and I mean, he was cool and everything. So, I mean, you know, there's that, and then there's the worst case scenario. You know, is that they're rude, or you get the feeling that they actually don't want you there at all.
Yeah.
And that is that's a bummer for sure. And I've been going to cons for a long time. I've worked a lot of cons. I usually am on the other side of the table selling my books because I'm a writer as well. But you know, as a fan, if I'm going around and meeting people, you know, I've experienced a lot of different interactions that run the gamut, you know, and I've heard Brent Spiner is a jerk. I had a very nice interaction with Brent Spiner a long time ago. And then you have like the top tier best interactions. I have like just, you know, up here that I just keep, and in my like Rolodex of the coolest celebrities I've met. And like sometimes it's the most random people I'm not expecting, like Dave Foley. Ray Wise was like that. Ray Wise was like incredibly nice. Ray Wise was doing like a Twin Peaks thing, and I went up to him and talked with Tim with 8-Bit Alchemy. We talked to him about the show Reaper, that he played the devil. Floodgates are open. He'd been talking about Twin Peaks all weekend, I'm sure. And he was just one of the nicest people, and he was 100% present, looking me right, you know, looks you right in the eye. You never know, but it is a fun experience to have that connection, like like you said, Jay, it's just another
Yeah.
human being. And, it's for me, it's the fun part. That's the best part.
And Steve, it's wonderful. Mitch really puts on a show. I don't know if this was your first time going or not, but I've been going.
It was. Yeah.
Okay, I've been going since it's come into existence.
Okay,
and it's grown, and the artists, the vendors, it's just a very positive show. I don't think I had one negative interaction this time, and I got to say, even when we're talking about like artists and stuff, like I got there early on Friday, and I bumped into Joe St. Pierre. Now I've only interviewed Joe St. Pierre once, and he recognized me. He talked to me for about 10 minutes. He introduced me to a bunch of different artists, and he was talking me up. He's like, oh yeah, I've interviewed with these guys like 5 or 6 times. They're great guys, and you should definitely talk to them. And interactions like that, it felt so good that these guys are welcoming of us, welcoming of the public.
Joe even tried to give us a free shirt.
Yeah, he wanted to know if Leo fit this. He couldn't sell this particular shirt, and that wasn't. He was even trying to give me some free comics, and I was like, I was like, listen, that is super nice of you, Joe, and I'm a super fan, but I know you're here to make money, so I want you to be able to sell this to your books, to your fans, and I'll get your stuff at another time. And
Joe St. Pierre is a really nice guy. He's become a personal friend of ours. Sorry that we didn't have cannolis this year for you guys there.
Going on a comment card.
But it's like I said, that's how we met. That's how I met Mark McKenna. Cannolis will always make friends with everybody. And that's how we met Joe St. Pierre. Joe St. Pierre is awesome. He always offers me a free print. I'm like, listen, I don't want it. I'm not here for that. If you want to donate it to our Autism Speaks thing, that's great. We'll do it. But other than that, let's just sell it, or I will just buy the print right from them. Larry Kinney did the same thing to me. We went over just to talk to him, and he asked how we were doing. I'm like, yeah, we're doing great. We're running, we're raising funds for our Autism Speaks awareness thing. And he goes, well, would you like a free print? I'm like, no. You're here to, meet your fans, make money and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'd like to buy a print from you, so you make your money while you're there, And he's like, well, no, that's okay. You've always done so much for me. And goes, it's not even about that. He goes, here's the 20. I gave it to, I think his son-in-law was there one year. It was last year. He goes, have them take this. I'll take the print and stuff like that. And then after that, as I'm walking away, he gives a print to my wife. He goes, put this up as a raffle for your Autism Speaks thing. We'll be good. I'm like, thank you. Nice. I mean, incredible. I mean, I always love talking to Joe to find out what the next thing that he's working on. I cannot wait for the next part of Zodiac to come out. I've already backed on his Kickstarter too.
Just real quick on Joe. I did get to speak with him, and most of the celebrities I talked to, I did mention that I was there with the Dorkening and what our deal was. And just for you, Rich, he immediately went, oh yeah, the Dorkening, I love those guys. He's like, I've been on there like 2-3 times. He's like, yeah, I love the Dorkening. The Dorkening's great. Nice. So that was pretty cool. He's a very nice guy.
Like I said, Mitch put on a great show. The only thing that stunk with me is I really couldn't leave the show. I wanted to go and, see Larry, go to the panels, because it's been, over, say, 7 years since I've been able to get to a panel, and
don't worry, we reported most of them.
Yeah. I missed, like I said, I do miss going to the panels, because to sit down and listen to them talk, to hear the story, how they all get started in the business.
Well, you're talking about Tim Daly earlier. Definitely watch his panel, because he talks about how he got the job for Superman, and it's just amazing stories. So, and like Drew said, we recorded 20 panels, so we got almost all of them.
Yeah,
well, good. You guys did something right this time, right?
Yeah, and listen, like at the Paul Kupperberg panel, I had Joe Stanton one row behind me, three things over, and I remember asking Paul a question, and I'd look back at Joe, and Joe kind of gave me the nod, and I was like, oh, it felt so good. A legend of my existence. and even listen, we're talking about all like these big names and stuff. It was even great interactions. I was talking to a vendor, and it was clear to her that I wasn't buying, but we were just having a conversation. She made dragon eggs of these different sizes and stuff. I learned the whole story of how the dragon eggs came into existence. And then I assumed that this was like her first trial run. And she's been selling dragon eggs for 6 years. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I always like seeing the independent. God bless you, Steve.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I always like seeing the independent vendors that make their own stuff. You know, I love seeing the indie artists like Sour Grapes, Tim Jones.
Yep.
Awesome guy. I always get a kick out of his little comic strip that he has going, you know, and now that he's going national with it and a lot of the papers and stuff like that. Love that. I mean, it's just
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
It's
Great news.
just really good to see like those indie peoples, because everybody started out as an indie person at one time in their career, and then you look at them now, you know, it's incredible.
Well, I think that's the thing that I enjoy about interviewing comic people is, again, you have to kind of...
hold on, we got Larry Kinney in there commenting. Look at that right there, the man himself.
Oh wow, it's Larry Kinney.
Larry Kinney, the man.
Larry's awesome. We love you, Larry.
Larry's the Lord of all the cats.
Larry's another one. We've had him on like 4 times. He's
wow.
Yeah, it's just
yeah, there you go.
There's the man right there. That's the piece of artwork that he snuck to my wife as I had turned around.
Oh wow.
I have the same piece up here.
Man, he's just an awesome all around guy. Like, I mean, he is,
and he's another Hawaiian shirt guy like George Perez.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I think it's just good talking to people, and you show that respect. You're not afraid to throw a joke or two in there, and just making them as comfortable, and you get the best material that way. You know, especially I think it helps if you're a fan, because I mean, you don't have to just melt down when you meet them, but you show your appreciation. You ask good questions, and you just let them tell the story. Lead the rest of the narrative.
Absolutely.
Right, trust me. I wish I could have squeezed in more interviews. Like I would have tried to get all of Artist Alley. I'm like, all right, cool. I've got 20 interviews.
For next year, Drew. I'm going to be there all weekend, and I'm going to be dragging Leo. I'm like, come on, Leo, Friday night. I'm like, let's go. We're getting interviews.
And by Sunday, you're going to be dragging ass.
Yeah, because I can tell you right now, I was dragging ass.
J-Bo, for next year, if you want, man, I'm happy if you can get Ty all good on the prices and shit. I'll help guard and hang for like 45 minutes. If you want to go check out a panel or something, I'm always down to help a brother out.
Rich, he'll take you up on that. I'll tell you that.
I will, but you just can't have the $5 fire sale.
Yeah, I don't no, like on a Friday or Sunday when it's less busy, not on
no $5 fire sale. Like my wife always says, like she goes, if you ain't back in 15 minutes, everything is $5.
Everything
I'm an old New York Drew, man. I'll pinch every penny for you. Don't you worry.
And like I said, like other people that haven't seen us, I will thank Leo again, because Leo, he spent his entire allowance at my
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
no lie. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that, but
so tell us what you got there, Leo. Describe what you've got there.
Yeah. So this is the only one I've opened so far. So J-Bo, what's the series of these? What is it?
Those, I can't remember the series right now because you're asking me after a con.
Yeah, it's more like statues than
yes, they're statues. Yeah. So what Hasbro's doing now is they're doing this series called the Red series. They're like giant statues, but they're smaller now. So I mean, look at you got Grimlock.
Oh yeah,
he kicks butt. He kicks butt.
Gentlemen, you're missing the point. What that's called for Leo, considering what he spent, is called a second mortgage on the house.
Yeah, and he got Batgirl too. Rest in peace, Batgirl. 'cause
yeah.
you're never gonna be.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's
I
the
mean,
splash pages, I think.
I'm like, oh, come on. You like Warner Brothers, you didn't even give it a shot for streaming.
Unbelievable.
Jabo, I read somewhere that the reactions that they had, the early moviegoers, was just so abysmal that they just were like, no, we're cutting our losses. Like we can't have another League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on our hands here. Like,
so this is the Corman Fantastic Four then.
Yeah.
I guess
This is going to be the
Look at
thing that like it's so terrible, but everybody's dying to see it.
Rich, that is
Because we
just
can't.
that's still, when you showed it to me, I was like, wow, that's unsettling, but that's genius.
Rich,
Well,
it's
that-
you.
It
Yeah,
does
this-
look like Rich's
This was
other
done by an
face.
independent animator named Steve Garcia that hopefully we'll be interviewing in the near future. But
That is so
Turn it
creepy.
the other
he, had
way.
he usually had a lot more, and he's like, "Oh, I've got a bunch of other Joker things." I'm like, "You don't understand. I have so
Rich,
many.
we're
Joker
catching the light.
Got to be special, and this is fucking special."
Cool.
Yeah.
It's
Rich,
really cool.
only-
Rich,
I only
just
got
take it out of
this.
the plastic, Rich. Just take it out of the plastic. We'll see it better.
All right.
Don't be afraid.
I
Don't
only
be afraid,
bought this,
Rich.
and I bought from Paul Kupperberg. I bought his JSA Ragnarok, which are JSA
Okay.
untitled.
I also need to share something
There
really
we go. Like, look at that.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is beautiful piece.
That is Rich's other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to be getting this one framed.
Totally. But so I have to share something funny that happened with Leo. So I was putting away books that I got signed and whatnot, and I was like, oh, this is a little lighter. And I had like, Leo, come on, try lifting this up. He just, I was like, nope. He was like, how the he was like, how do you carry this? This is like a boulder on wheels. And I just lifted up like Thor's hammer. I'm like, no, this is fine. This is nothing.
I tried it with my weak arm. Just saying that.
the
Yeah,
weak arm.
Don't use the
weak arm.
T-Rex arm next time.
Use the weak arm and like try and get it.
Yeah.
This is long you don't mix the mashed potatoes with the weak arm.
Yeah.
That's all we're gonna say.
No, well, it's just because Leo, this is the first time you actually saw my madness, you know. And I remember I opened the suitcase and you just saw all these books. And it was like, Drew, I've never got that much signed by anything. And you're like, oh, I got like 81 books signed. You're like, I'm sorry, 80 what?
Yeah, and most I brought was like 4. You know, that's yeah.
No, you don't
That's a lot
understand.
for you.
Drew is like military style. It's weeks in advance that he's planning this.
Oh yeah, me and my friends.
His signatures.
Yeah, we coordinate. Me and my friends, we had like a chat for weeks. We were coordinating, reaching out to people on Instagram, compiling lists.
Yeah, you roomed with a fellow Canadian signature seeker. How did he do?
Oh, he did pretty well too. We all had the thing being is with the industry's changing where everyone's charging a lot more, and it's about budgets now. It's like if you can't really afford someone's autograph, it's like if I already met you, cool, bye. You know, it really comes down to priority. What's really important to you? It's basically that. I mean, if you can spend the money, cool, but there's no point like bankrupting yourself just to get autographs, you know?
Yeah.
So
I've seen guys come into my booth and stuff, and they have that little roller full of their books and stuff, like, you know, specific things that they want signed because that artist is going to be there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's pretty wild to see how they're set up. I mean, they got it set up in all file folders, like, nope, this stays in this. And
oh yeah, there's splinters of the breed, you know, little subspecies of signers. Also, I will say this, Jabo, I apologize if I walked past your booth and didn't realize it's Dead Poo. So
listen, it's okay. I understand. No one sees me.
It's not that I didn't see you.
Hey!
No one sees you. Who could not see you? You're a huge guy. You're like Jeremy size.
You know, I've been given some pointers because, like I said, I've been doing it for 10 years. So for me, like, I'm learning every year. Look at that sci-fi journal.
Thanks, Mark.
Right there.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Great,
thank you.
Great plug there. And
Nice.
I've had a close friend of Ty's give me some advice. He's like, listen, there's going to be tons of toy dealers there, tons of them. And he goes, the best way to do it is to make it so you stand out from everybody else. So, like, say Leo is that one person that sees the Transformer thing, but he's going to go to 40 other tables there, and all of them are going to have Transformers. But whoever has the best deal, I know Leo will go back to that table. So he says, what you should do is just make it so your booth stands out. So what I did is I got these 2 police lights up there flashing around just to get people's attention, and then I put lights around all my tables and stuff. I've given some pointers, some other vendors. There was a vendor there, very nice bunch of guys. They were doing they do like wine bottles or something like that had prints on them, but they also had lights inside them. So when I met them the first year, it was our anniversary. They gave us stuff, and I saw them again. They were 2 booths down from us. I'm like, well, how's the show going? He goes, well, Friday's really slow. I mean, it's been really bad. Sorry, I got the cat right here. Won't leave me alone. No Ginger, just say hi to the world, Ginger. But I goes, well, why don't you bring your table, because your table is pushed back so they're not seeing you. I goes, bring your table forward, take your stuff, bring them over so as people are walking down the aisle, they can see what you have there. And it goes, then go to like Walmart or whatever, get those lights that run on AA batteries, put them along your table. Once they move their table forward, they started getting more and more sales. I'm like, how was your Saturday now? He goes, it's been unbelievable. Like, the advice that you gave us was like, listen, we can spread it around for people. We can help other people, help other vendors, help other artists. Like, I will always tell somebody, I don't have it here, but I'm telling you right now, if you go down to the artist that's down there, he has the book you're looking for, or he has that piece of work that you're looking for. Same with a vendor. Like, if I don't have it, go to them, because it does me no good if I'm like, yeah, I don't have it. See you later.
Well, J-Bo, I think the other thing being is, one, you're talking about a community, and I think it's also everybody goes to a con for a reason. Some people they get book signed. Some they go for the autograph of celebrities. Some they go to cosplay. Some they go to shop for toys.
Yes.
Or Funkos, or back issues. So again, as long as there's a little something for everybody, then you're good. But again, as long as you're also having fun. I just personally, there's always so much in con. Also, are you saying that you literally turned your table into a lighthouse?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. I was like, so the nerds were moths drawn to your nerdy flame.
Yes, I even had I didn't even know this person was a celebrity. He plays the young Iron Sheik from the Young Rock. He came to my table, and I didn't even, honest to God, I did not even know who he was. I just thought he's a big muscle-bound guy, he's a geek like all of us, and he's there buying stuff. And he came to my table, and he was like, do you have any like G.I. Joe stuff? And I pointed out all my G.I. Joe stuff. And out of all of them, he picked the Red Ninja Pop. Like, he goes, yeah, I'm the young Iron Sheik on the Young Rock show. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Like, I did not even know that he had a show. Very nice guy. Like, me and Leo and
with that.
Yeah, me, Leo, and Steve and Rich were all talking about it, and he's done so much work. And I'm like, oh man, now I know why I didn't recognize you, because you're the body double for Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just it was cool to just see more people come out. Like, this show was good.
And there were some really good cosplays. It just, what it is, everybody was having a good time.
Yeah,
there was really no troublemakers. I know I sound like such an older nerd. Like, there were no rapscallions or scoundrels or
scallywags
or troublemakers or pickpockets and I don't know, Oliver Twists.
For me over the weekend, man, I was Jones in the cosplay, and Rich knows me in my cosplays, and I'm like, seeing everybody walk by in their cosplays, I'm like, why? Like, why can't I do that? And then then I realized, like, I'd probably be baking in each one of the cosplays that I have, and
you've got your Spider Venom.
Yeah.
Spider Venom Trooper.
Yes, my Venomized.
Trooper. and
Oh,
your
nice.
giant Orko. Your 6'4" Orko.
Yeah, and I'm like, then I realized I'm like, it was hot in there at the start of each day of the con, and then it got cooler. But I'm like, I would have cooked my Venomite Stormtrooper. No, I
Dude.
would have died. You know.
Listen, I was looking as Deadpool. I think I jokingly was looking if I could have found Mitch. I was like, please turn the
AC
air
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need this to be like the ending of Titanic right now. I am dying.
Body heat,
Right.
thousands and thousands of people. That's a lot of body heat.
Yeah.
So
You're
Steve,
not going to be saved by the ending of Titanic, bro. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
there wouldn't have been an
everybody was
iceberg
dying.
big enough to cool
I would
you
have thrown
off.
her off the raft.
That door is big enough
I'd have
for
been like,
2
"Come on, girl,
rows.
scoot your butt over a little bit.
Just scooch over.
But
Big bit.
You saw Mythbusters prove that, right?
yes, it did.
Yeah.
But like I said, overall, it was a really good weekend. It was good hanging with everybody. It was just, you know what it is? I think it's the way I look at what we're doing is kind of a natural evolution of fandom. Is that you, like, for me, I started off as someone who likes getting his books signed, but also then gravitated toward cosplay. You know, and eventually, I don't want to say it grows old, but you just kind of, it doesn't have the same flair as it used to. Like, more people start charging. You've already got most of your big stuff out of the way. You're maybe buying as much, so you're kind of like, okay, what's the next stage? And I don't know, it's kind of nice. Like, okay, these people are, they're getting the attention and all that, but like, you have a network. You have people who are watching you and listen to what you say. You're getting to meet people.
Yeah.
Get to meet people you respect in the industry, and they're getting to know you because you know you're cementing your approach, your feel, your look. You know, I mean, a bunch of people I've been giving cards to. They're like, "Oh yeah, I heard of the Dorkening." So word of mouth is helping. You know.
Yeah, everything spreads. Everything spreads like wildfire sometimes. Like
They're like, "Oh, Deadpool, I remember you from the bathroom stall."
First things
that,
first.
that
okay.
awkward moment.
Excuse me. First thing first. I washed my hands. Thank you. Okay, I couldn't wash all of me, but I definitely washed my hands. Thank you.
It doesn't help if you wash your hands while they're in the poo gloves. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, because you're just putting your hands back into that. Like, you know.
Well,
But see,
and we did say poo POO for a reason, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. But Steve, I do have a question for you. What was the highlight of the show for the time that you were there at Terrificon? What was your highlight?
My favorite was definitely meeting Dave Foley, as I already described that. But it was also really cool. You know, I got to meet Michael Bell, who is another voice actor that we should all know from the 80s. We lost Drew. You know, voice of like a million characters in the 80s: Smurfs, Snorks, G.I. Joe, Transformers.
Bumblebee.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right. He was Bumblebee, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in a million things. He was also in a video game series that I really loved. I don't know if you guys remember the Soul Reaver games.
Oh, yes.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. So, yeah, I mean, he was the voice of Raziel, who was the main character in Soul Reaver. So you know, that was a highlight. I was happy to talk to him. Very, very nice guy. So yeah, I mean, it was just an all around great time. But I was the most surprised by Dave Foley. He just was really, really super nice.
We're a nice down to earth kind of guy.
Really, really cool. Yeah. Really fun interaction.
Yeah,
definitely. It would have been fun to do some interviews, but like on our show, Retro Redoctopus, we do the occasional interview. We do have an interview series we call The Brig, because everything's kind of randomly pirate themed, just because no reason. And Redoctopus is a sea animal, I guess that's why. But yeah, so yeah, we do interviews sometimes, but it's like an occasional thing. It's not our big main thing. But I was, you know, it was fun going around talking to a lot of indie creators. My friend George O'Connor was there with his company Homeless Comics. He's put out tons of stuff. I was telling him he's got to come on Splash Pages, and you guys have his information. George's a great guy. scared the absolute ever living shit out of me on Friday before I was leaving. Literally, I'm 43 now. You can't just sneak up behind a 43-year-old man and just expect he's not going to have a heart attack. He might not have a heart attack. It's possible, but and I didn't, of course. But so good on him for that, for almost killing me. But yeah, I mean, lots of people were interested in the Dorkening and splash pages overall, because there were so many people out there trying to make their thing a thing. You know, they are doing the work, they're hitting the ground running, they're selling their own product. I love that. I'm published with a small indie press called Rough House Publishing. I know what it's like. I know what everybody has to go through, and it's impressive what a lot of these people are going out and doing and putting themselves out there and doing all these cons, and just, you know, they're screaming into the void, you know, with their loudest voice, and it's really, really hard. So it's really cool that we can offer something like an interview, you know, oh, we'll do podcasts. You interested in coming on our show and talking about your comic? And a lot of people were like, absolutely, hell yeah, I'm dying. Yes, please. Yes. Can we please do that? Yeah, let's do that. So that was really, really cool. You know, I mean, I hope a lot of those turn into actual interviews for later. That'd be great.
Louis Rex this says, hey y'all, Velvet Joker introduced me to the channel on day 2 of Terrificon.
Awesome. Thanks, Louis. Appreciate it.
Hey, Louis.
Thanks for checking us out.
And I know somebody mentioned earlier, you know, are we going to Terrificon next year? Definitely. And then Drew was talking about, you know, doing more interviews. I think next year, if I can afford it, maybe another camera set so that we can do like, you know, just 2 different groups hitting the ground for interviews. But I also wanted to give a big shout out to Jeremy here. You know, everybody knows Jar Jar. He's been doing cons for a ton of time. But what he said to me after the con, you know, it was definitely very heartfelt that, you know, this was his best con experience he ever had. But a lot of it was due to, you know, the company. You know, it's his cons before, it was a lot of work, and it was, you know where he was before, and it was just you know, you
Leo,
go.
let me interject for a second, then
Yeah.
I'll let you bop right back in there. Now, Jeremy is my brother from another mother.
Yes.
Now, for those that don't know, Jeremy used to be part of a different podcast that was popular in the New England area, and there was a bad breakup that happened. And so Jeremy has kind of like stepped back for a little bit. He tried his own podcast for a while, had to get his life right, getting back on track. And I'm really proud of my brother. And he came out and he had a great attitude. And I know he was emotional a little bit here and there this weekend, but that's because he did have such a fantastic time. And Leo, you're a big part of that. So, and you're a big part of making this show and this podcast network. And I love you, man. I really do. We've really, I think, gotten close over the last year and a half. I only knew you kind of sporadically on and off from the con circuit before that. And you've really done this wonderful thing. And I really think we're going to build in the next couple of years. And all hail Leo not having to have a job anymore. Well, that's what I say.
Well, definitely feelings mutual. You know, it's I love all you guys. You know, it's about growing, you know, a family. It's not, you know, the Dorkening podcast network. It's not me. It's all of us. You know, it's what we make of it. You know, it's I'm not into this to, you know, for any sort of fandom or anything. It's all about helping each other. You know.
Oh, you liar! You know you're doing it for the fame. Nah, I'm just kidding. If it wasn't for Rich introducing me to you guys even more, like where you have me do your new toy reviews or toy previews that are coming out and stuff like that. To me, it was a big thing because I was nervous. I won't lie. I was nervous as hell to like, you want me to write something about toys.
Yeah,
like
that's what you love, man.
I
You gotta
mean,
write what you love, right?
I do love my toys. My wife, not so much on the other hand. You know, but it's just good. I mean, to see Jeremy this past weekend was awesome. I've been friends with him for a very long time. I've known what he's been through. It's good to see him enjoy a con again, and that's what cons are all about. Even if you're there interviewing somebody, or if they're there selling your comic trying to sell your comic to a person that's just walking by, I mean, it's a big thing, but there's also time to have fun while you're doing it.
Oh, totally.
You
Well,
know?
when we were putting preparation together, I forgot who asked it, but talking about like priorities for the con. Priority number one is for everybody to have fun. Podcast comes second. It's
Yes. Give him the Leo pose, Steve. Give him the Leo pose.
But we had there was a large group of us there, and as long as somebody was at the booth to make sure nobody walked off with any equipment, that's
yeah
absolutely. And thank you to the guys that aren't on the show tonight. Steve Jr.
Yep.
Brandon.
Yep.
Tim, who's not here tonight, but came with Steve Van Samson.
Yeah.
Who's also a super nice guy. Was in our fun little pick that we had. He was the other bearded guy. I was the guy with the mask on.
Jeremy.
The double mask on.
And Kevin joined us on that was Sunday.
That's right. Kevin was there Sunday, which I was not there for. But
shame on you, Rich. Shame. Shame.
But you know what? Overall, we all had a fan. It sounds like we all had a great time.
Yeah.
We promoted the shit out of the Dorkening podcast, splash pages, and all the different shows. And Leah, we're your warriors, man. We're out here fighting the good battle, and putting that community and those good vibes out there, and staying away from all the negative, shitty people, and meet new creative friends. And Steve, I want to read some of your books now that I'm learning all this stuff. So rock and roll, brother.
Rich can read.
Yeah, and Jay,
doesn't look at the pictures.
Comics are books
I was
too.
looking for my dollar toys, man. I didn't see any good dollar toys there today.
No. Today, I literally ran out of room.
Yeah, you had a lot of stuff. You had a ton of product.
Yeah, well, I keep telling my wife that I don't think I have enough.
Yeah, I know.
And
listen, she still buys you, dude. I see your post, man. That woman still buys you at least 3 toys a week. Don't
I won't lie. Today she did buy me a toy today.
Yeah. You may say she doesn't like your toys, but all right, Louis. Let's see what Louis got to say. I got to say, Terrificon was his first convention ever, and he really enjoyed it. Sense of community and belonging was so great. Like I found my people. Awesome, Louis. We are your people.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, we're here every Tuesday, Louis. You can check us out. Check out the Facebook. Join the Facebook club. Splash Pages, a comic book club on Facebook. If you participate in Facebook, if not, wherever you're watching us, whether that be YouTube or Audible or Apple Podcasts, you can find us everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So we're out here to entertain you guys, to enjoy ourselves, to put good community out there, and they just put up an event that J-Bo is doing, Bacon Fest, Return of the Bacon. You want to tell us a little bit about that, Jay?
Yeah, so it's been on hiatus for 2 years because COVID really kicked us in the nuts.
Of course.
With it, horribly. But Bacon Fest is actually an event that's really close to heart, where we have been putting it on for the past 4 years for our friend Chris Norris, Team Christopher, where we raise awareness for Autism Speaks. This year is going to be probably our biggest one because we have just gotten the okay that Jim Lawson, one of the 4 original artists of the Ninja Turtles, is going to be there. We also have Tim Jones is going to be there. Ben Goldsmith, who has written 2 books. He's written his whole Seance Room comic.
Yeah, we had him on. We interviewed him.
Ben Goldsmith is awesome because he has postcards. You give him 3 things. He will ask you 1 you fear, 1 you love, 1 you hate. And he will turn that into your own personal horror story. Jim Lawson, yes.
No, I'm just looking. Saturday, September 10th.
Yes, Saturday, September 10th.
Pub. And for those that don't know, where is the Hangover Pub, Jay?
The Hangover Pub is in Worcester, Mass. on Green Street. It is a bacon gastrique restaurant. It's not even just that. He also has another restaurant right next door called Broth. If you love ramen, you want to go there. The chef and the owner has been featured on Man vs. Food. He has been on Guy's Grocery Games. Unfortunately, he lost to a skinny chef. I am sorry to say that, but this right here, we're going to have raffles. We're going to have funny cars. We're going to have the Bumblebee Corvette there. We're going to have the Spider Buggy there.
Oh,
I mean, the Spider Buggy is going to be
That
there.
means Tim's coming.
Yeah, we're going to have the Joker Crown Vic there. So, I mean, it's going to be an amazing thing. Jim Lawson has been a supporter of us. He has a son that is on the spectrum, a high functioning one. He donated an 11 by 17 original.
Oh, wow.
Leo, if you look on there, you'll probably see that it's there. A lot of people don't realize this is going to be a very limited piece. We're only selling 150 tickets. The tickets are $10 each. With the story that we have with this thing here, and it's kind of funny, Steve. You'll get a kick out of it. So when Jim started drawing it, he started to do the penciling outline to it, and he's like, it just doesn't look right. So what he did is he flipped it over, and he drew a whole new thing on the other side. Like, I mean, it's just people
So
don't. You get a 2-4. Yeah, I mean, you get a 2-4 on there. Leo, let me know if I put it up there. I could have swore I did. I know I have a lot of stuff. There it is, right there.
Oh wow!
Wow!
If you look at that right there, we are really making this an event that we're hoping
That's
to
nuts.
break our previous year's record. Last time we did it, we raised over, I believe, $3,500 for a 4-hour event. 100% of the proceeds do go to Autism Speaks.
Nice.
It will help people find the support that they need for this, because there are some people that I noticed at the con today. Well, not today, but over the weekend, that were wearing headphones. A lot of some of the people that are in the autistic community can't handle the sound that is being pumped out. So what they do is they use a noise canceling headset that plays either a white noise or sounds that they can handle, so they can enjoy it. And our friend Chris Norris, his son can't handle high sounds, can't handle songs. We do this for this man, that man right there. He's an amazing guy. We plan on having cosplayers there. We do what we call a Chinese raffle, where you buy tickets, you put them in the bags. When it comes time to do the pulling, we will start to promote. We'll start pulling your names, and if you're lucky, you will end up winning. We've had one friend, Carl, who cosplays as Deadpool. You probably saw him walking.
Carl Baker.
Carl Baker has won more prizes from us than anything, and he doesn't do it to win the prizes. He just does it to support us.
Steve, I don't know. You may have seen him on Friday. He was Deadpool with the small hand.
He was the
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He was the Deadpool that had every accessory you could think of on his body. Like, I mean, he's amazing.
Nice.
Very creative.
He just donated stuff that he won last time back to us. So, Leo, if you like Legos, you should come and buy some tickets, because he donated a two-legged, I don't know what you call them, the AST, or whatever it is. Yes, he donated a Lego version of that to us to be raffled off. I mean,
so Jay, what do they have for food at this kind of event? At this event, is it kind of you're buying off the menu?
You're buying off the menu. We've been talking with the chef. Sometimes he'll create a special menu that'll be quick finger foods. But you will have access to his entire menu. It's the one place that you
knowing you, Jay, I've actually went and visited this place solo for lunch one day.
Yes,
and I've sampled this chef's food, and he's terribly creative. So if you guys want a good meal, and there's a lot of like comic art already on the walls.
Oh yeah, this place is great. I love this place. Broth is awesome. They have amazing. The ramen is like fusion. So my daughter has just this obsession with soup. She's always just been she wants soup for like half her meals.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been there a lot of times, not since COVID, unfortunately, but yeah, they have a like a chicken parm ramen.
Yes, Steve, they do. I love it.
It's really, really good. They also have the steak frites is absolutely to die for. It comes with like truffle fries, some of the best truffle fries I've ever had. Really can't say enough about that location. So good on you choosing
how
that.
about the man candy? Have you tried the man
sweet
candy?
bacon. Yeah, I tried that the last time. It was.
I
very
bring the man candy.
Well, I do too. Like we were just sitting there.
Steve, you talked.
I'm just talking about Skittles. I just have Skittles. I just bring Skittles with me. That's all I'm saying. What did you think I meant? Come on.
I don't know. I'm a dirty
We
joker.
were just
What can I tell
recently
you?
in there about a
I'm a
couple weeks
dirty
ago,
joker.
and the chef is amazing. He changes his menu up monthly.
Nice.
He always does Taco Tuesdays. He does smash burgers. We went in there a couple weeks ago to talk to him just to nail down the date and everything like that. And he goes, "You guys have free reign." What he did do, Steve, though, is he did move broth into his main kitchen now, just because where COVID really hit them pretty hard.
Gotcha.
To have them just standing there, they could be cooking the other side, but broth is still there. It's still good. But he recently just had the whole inside of his bar where his top chalkboard is all done up as an Empire Strikes Back's Hoth battle.
So cool. Cool.
You know,
so give us the deets one more time about where do we go for tickets and when is this awesome event?
So tickets can be bought online. I believe I did make a post that has the information about it. It is going to be September 10th from 2 to 6 in Worcester, Mass. at the Hangover Pub. That is, I believe, 104 Green Street, I believe.
102.
102, yes.
Yep.
My favorite poster that I made. I mean, awesome. Thanks to Carvana, where I can do everything. But it is going to be a 4-hour event. We figured that way people can come if they don't want to stay for the whole thing. And another thing about our raffles is you do not need to be present to win. We will call you if we pick your name. We will call you and we will make an arrangement to meet up with you and get the prize that you won to you. I've had art donated by Travis Mercer, who's done a lot of DC stuff lately. Like his Red Hood is like amazing. Ben has donated some books too. Jay Pellarella from Rubber Chicken Comics has donated to us before.
Love Jay, old friend of
Jay.
Jay's.
Jay, I'm going to be hitting you up. Me and Ty will be swinging by there soon, probably to see you. He's been a big supporter of our event as well too, as well as the fans, the people that have come to us, our cosplayers that have been in those 90-degree days that have stayed out in the sun all day. We always make sure that they're hydrated. We create like a cool room for them too. So, I mean, if it wasn't for you guys helping us, like Leo with the Dorkening,
really
you know,
great event, Jay. Absolutely, sounds like it's gonna be a great day out, and I wish you much success on your events.
Thank you. We're really excited for it, Rich. We're really excited for it because it's been 2 years in the making, and you know, I mean, to come up with our title, I always try to come up somewhere with Star Wars related. It might be different next year because I'm not a fan of the last three. I mean, you know, but we'll come up with names for everything, and it'd just be great to just the support that everybody has given us, you know. And I can't thank the chef and the owner of the Hangover Pub and his staff at all. There, 1 year they donated all their tips to us, like
amazing.
I mean, just amazing people to show the support that they do, you know, and that you guys have done too.
Of course,
you know. So, because Rich, you have donated some stuff to us as well before too. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's stuff as well to me. So, you know, it's all reciprocal. We all keep it in the family. But,
yes.
Hey, bringing it back to Terrificon in a minute. Now, you would think hard work and Mitch Halleck, who ran this amazing con, would be sleeping or on vacation. But that is not true at all.
No.
Do you know where he is tonight? He is at a John Williams concert.
Oh, my God.
In the Berkshires. Because he is nerding out.
And he's working on next year's show.
And and I'm sure. Well, I know for a fact that he has guests already set for next year. I know he has guests set for 2 or 3 years down the line. People that have given him commitments. That man, you know, people will be like, "Oh, he only works 3-4 days a year." No, that man
No.
markets. That man works every day. He travels. He goes to cons. He goes to multiple states, talks to people, writers, artists. It is amazing to put a thing like this together, and the
not
fact
only
that he's able
this,
to do this.
he does multiple cons.
Yeah, he does the
He
CT
has
Gamer
GamerCon as well.
Yeah,
and listen, not only is he bringing money to himself and to all these artists and independent vendors and people like us looking to expand our nerd fandom, but he brings a whole region money all weekend, and I don't mean little money; I mean big money. That's a commendable thing to say that you contribute to a city, to an area.
Oh yeah,
even for a weekend.
Definitely. Well, it goes beyond a city. Like Mohegan Sun is in Uncasville, Connecticut. My wife works at a hotel 20 minutes away. They had block of rooms for Terrificon as well. It's the whole area benefits because it's also tourism-y area too. So you can come to the con and maybe your wife goes to like Mystic or something like that. And
my wife just goes to the casino. She spends the money that I make. I mean,
I'm sorry, Jay, but go ahead.
Yeah, but Mitch markets everything in the con and outside the con. Like, I'd never been to Bobby Flay's Burger Place. Like, I'm like, never been there until we went Saturday.
Oh
my friggin' God! Like, we
burgers
did
are
like
amazing.
not Saturday. I'm sorry, Friday. We did Friday because Saturday we went off of the property. We went for Italian for our anniversary, but
Gourmet
Bobby Flay's
burger
Burgers
under $15, right?
Oh my God, yeah, like amazing food. I mean, you have Bellows over there. That's a nice Italian restaurant. Like, just he markets everything where everybody can do everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I ate a dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts by myself.
Wow!
I mean,
that is. Wait a minute, you are not supposed to be doing that, sir.
Yeah, well, guess what? I had the insulin
He did it.
ready. I had the
Yeah.
insulin ready there. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
I am a
bet you got
diabetic,
stank
Steve,
in
but I'll
that
tell you
thing.
right now, went there and these glazed donuts were coming right off the conveyor belt, and they were like, "Jay, come and buy a dozen."
Eat
And
me.
I'm like,
Eat me.
and I won't lie, I did, and then I had my wife bring me a hot chocolate from there.
Oh,
And I made the Johnny C special mix.
Nice.
So, but I mean, great show. I mean, I
So-
just wish
so,
I could have gotten way more.
You said you got Italian off property. Where'd you go?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Let me ask my wife because she's right near me. Ty, what was the name of the restaurant again that we had? Bella Fiore's.
Okay.
I suggest always going on a Saturday because on Sundays, it goes into like a little club on one side. But if you want really good Italian food, Bella Fiore's, it's not even like 5 minutes off the property.
Nice.
But if you want good Italian food, definitely go there. But other than that, hit up Bobby Flay's place or hit up the Hash House.
Well, next time you're down this way, I highly recommend, and I tell this to everybody, Paul's Pasta in Groton. It's about
Paul's Pasta in Groton. All right.
Yeah,
let me
it's
make note of
15
that.
minutes away.
Okay.
It's right on the water, so you can. There's like a back patio you can sit on, and pricing's really reasonable. They have an old style pasta cutter. Matter of fact, they had to shut down a couple of years ago because they had to like have it shipped to New York. There was like one guy that knows how to fix it. Yeah, they make everything like right on property, and yeah, it's just incredible pasta.
All right, so Leo, I have a person asking about Bacon Fest.
Oh yeah.
Parking right now they do have a parking lot there. I always tell people for Worcester, and Steve knows this. I mean, Worcester can be a pain for parking.
Isn't there a sports place right around the corner that you can park in their parking lot?
There is, but you have to be careful, and that's just because the cops like ticketing everybody.
Oh.
Since they built Polar Park, I figured they would build at least another garage where you can park in there. But there is parking. There is on-street parking. If you want a good place to park, I'd say get there early if you can. I have to get up very early that day because I have to go and secure spots for these cars. But yes, there will be off-street parking. and stop on by, like have some good food, enter and win some raffles, meet
Yeah.
some cosplayers, meet some
Almost
artists.
happy birthday, Angela. Saw your post.
Yes, Angela's birthday is 11 days. It's before her birthday. The event's before her birthday.
Oh.
So I mean, I would love to see you guys there if you can make it. I know it's a drive for Leo. I mean, that's about an hour's drive for Leo. So I mean, get up early, Leo. That's all I'm going to say. Steve, if you're in the neighborhood or whatever, if you're not doing anything, come on.
I would
by.
love to come, man. It's an
You know?
awesome. It's an awesome idea. I love Jim Lawson, love TMNT. I love helping people, and $10 is not much of an ask. And that honestly is one of my favorite restaurants. So pretty awesome, pretty great.
He does not charge for signatures. So
Nice.
if you want to come and do some donating for the event, have something signed. That man has donated so much stuff to me and signed so much stuff for me. I'm like, Jim, you're good, man. We're good. Just, we've invited him before for an event. He's like, well, just come down and enjoy it. See what it is, see what we do. And, he was like, I really do like this. I like what you guys do 100%. We have what we call corporate matching as well, too. So if Rich would have donated $1, the dollar just became $2.
Nice.
It's really good. I mean, it's just
a great event.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Sounds awesome.
It won't be as big as Mitch's Terrificon.
Yeah, it's a local event. Don't expect that.
But it's gotten bigger every year. So I would love to see this year be probably one of our best years, and to bring people in to buy the chef's food and his awesome concoctions that he makes.
Nice.
So Leo, there we go, Angela. Bring your backpack. Bring your turtle backpack. He'll get it signed for you.
So Leo, do you think if we had to crowbar Terrificon? Now, Steve, we usually rate our books, our storylines. We usually do on a 5 crowbar basis.
Sure.
Based on me.
No, yeah, it's all about you.
Five being the highest. So Leo, what would you give Terrificon this year? 2022 Terrificon. How many
2022. I'm gonna be not partial, so I'm gonna give it a 5.
All right. I am as well. I'm 5 all the way.
You're 5 all the time. Don't lie, Rich. You're
I'm
5 all the time.
No, he's normally pretty, pretty not
No,
hard.
with my comic stories, I can be pretty tough. But with I gotta say Terrificon, and I'm not saying just because Mitch and I are old friends. I truly believe it is one of the best cons in the Northeast. Only better is New York Comic Con, and honestly, my anxiety can no longer handle New York Comic Con. So as far as I'm concerned, Mitch has got the best. And what do you think, Steve? How many crowbars on that bad boy? What do you think for a one-day experience?
Yeah, I'll give it 5, sure. Because I missed out on some people, but that was my own fault. That's the day that I chose to go. That's not Terrificon's fault. People have schedules and stuff. Great con. I haven't actually been to a Comic-Con in a really long time because I've sort of switched over to just horror cons, which I just constantly go to. But this was really fun. It's been a while, and I had a really great time. So yeah, sure. 5 crowbars out of 5, and I will keep swinging until Robin's dead.
Nice. I love
it. Keep on swinging, then leave a bomb with him.
Damn it, Jason. You die.
For me, this has been my 5th time vending at Terrificon, and I will say by far, I'm going to give him more than 5 crowbars because I want to make sure Robin stays dead.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna give Mitch the 10 crowbars.
Awesome. 10 crowbars, and then he would have stayed dead just like Bucky. I mean, Uncle Ben.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll all put a pin in that one.
All right.
Literally.
Leo, we have anything else, Leo? Or stay tuned for panels being put up on splash pages of comicbook.com, on Facebook. That's on Facebook. And where else we're going to be able to see them, Leo? Releasing those bad boys.
I'm going to try to put a lot of stuff on the actual splash pages sites, since it's comic related. So so we have a splash pages YouTube now that I need to build up, our Instagram, obviously Facebook. And so I'm gonna, put stuff onto Dorkening as well. Maybe I'll just put like the full panels onto Dorkening, then split it up on Splash. We'll see how it goes. So just real quick, I'm just gonna play a few seconds of these, a couple of Dino.
Yes,
So
please.
Dave Foley.
And I enjoyed that as well. Yeah. Oh no, well it was. I mean, we always like making fun of ourselves. Yeah. And I'm so glad you liked it all because I think we were as nervous about being crappy as everyone else was. Really.
What is one of the greatest highlights of the trip?
Oh gosh, there's so many because I participated in just about every aspect.
Yeah, that's a little tough to hear. Keep in mind, I have the actual audio from the microphone that I'm going to be pairing it together. Tim Jones is such an awesome.
Tim is a very soft-spoken man, just to let you know. So it's you have to like really listen to that man talk.
Yeah.
So with that, like Leo said, he has the real audio from that. Watch the videos from all of them.
Yep.
Listen, in knowing Drew and seeing this picture, he is a huge Tony Harris Starman fan. So I know he was all. I don't care how confident Drew looks on the outside, his insides are doing flip-flops right here.
Die hard in a way that I just
Awesome. Yeah, you saw that like that nod, like he was like, yeah, that's yeah. He's like, yeah, that is like, yeah, yeah. That's like he's squeeing inside. I'll tell you that right now, just by the look on his face.
Exactly.
I mean,
So I am going on vacation starting this Friday. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
I am loading the footage up onto an external drive. I'm bringing my laptop with me, so I'm going to start piecing it together up in New
so
Hampshire.
it's not really a vacation then.
See, and as I told this to my wife, stuff like this is like, letting my creative outlet flow, so it is a vacation for me. So, I can dork out on some stuff I've been wanting to get done. We're going to be swimming, and also you have that huge arcade up there, fun spot. So,
yeah.
Nice.
So,
so are we still going to be on next week, or are we taking a hiatus for a week?
We are taking a hiatus for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, Rich, weren't you listening, Rich? Jeez, Rich, listen to the man, the myth,
I've
the
still
legend.
been snacking on some of Jeremy's edibles that he gave us over at the con. So
I have
Get the velvet out of your ears.
I have to say my anxiety was through the roof this weekend. I one of the days I came home, I took half of his, and it like even keeled me right out. It's just
Nice.
just can't thank him enough for those.
Power of medicinal cannabis.
Totally.
Yes.
Anything else before we wrap things up, gentlemen?
In 2 weeks I will be at my next con. For me, it'll be a first time as a line handler for a celebrity. So I will be at Fan Expo.
Oh, nice.
And then near the end of the month for me, I will be at Retro World to see my buddy Daniel Pacina. A lot of people that don't know him, he is the original Johnny Cage.
Okay.
Johnny Cage.
He was Johnny Cage. He was Sub-Zero. He was Scorpion. He was all the ninjas. And his brother is going to be there for the first time. His brother was Raiden. So,
And Jay, where can people find you if they want a special toy or if they want to see where you're going to be at next?
If anybody wants to find me, you can catch me on Facebook. Let me load my virtual background because Leo's awesome. You can reach me out here. I am now on TikTok, but you can reach me on Facebook at right below. Just search Jabo. I am working on my own business Facebook page. It's going to be under Jabo's Collectibles. You can always just shoot me a message. I am a hunter of all things collectible. And you can hit me on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook right now.
Cool.
Awesome. Steve.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the Dorkening, we are Retro Redoctopus. So if you haven't checked us out, please do so. We have a really fun, really lively Facebook group, and we dropped a new episode today, which is Tentacle Tuesday, as we like to call it, and it's all about the Predator. We have a show. It's all nostalgia, all fun geekery from when we were kids, just all the things that made growing up awesome, as we like to say. And if you'd like to find us, please do so on Facebook, Retro Redoctopus. It's like octopus with rid in front of it, because we like to make up words and make things hard. Or if it's easier, you can just look at my shirt. Let me just adjust this, and it says, here we have the address that says, it's the wrong shirt. It's the wrong shirt. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're also on Twitter, and we love our Retroids. So come on and be one.
Yeah,
one of us. Be one of us. One of us. And my two co-hosts, Nintendo and 8-Bit Alchemy, are both also going to be at Retro World Expo on Saturday, hanging out with Steven from Super Retro Throwback Reviews. So, yeah, we'll be there as well. I won't be there, but I'll be in Maine, but they will be there. And it's 8-Bit Alchemy's birthday on the 27th. So, like, stop by and just give him a pat on the butt. Just a nice little pit, like little pit. Like, even if you don't know him. Actually, it's better if you don't know him. Just a little, he'll love it.
Just tell him Steve sent you.
Tell him, don't even say anything. Just do it and walk past and run. Like, just do the quick pat and then just run.
You excited for the new Predator?
I can't wait for the new Predator. That was kind of the genesis of why we did the episode when we did it. Yeah, the show Prey is so up my alley. I've been dying for a period piece Predator since the ending of Predator 2. And, that was, the bug they put in your head is basically Pirates versus Predator because of the flintlock pistol that the Elder hands over to Danny Glover. But this is even better. It's Comanche versus Predator. And in my last book, I had a very Native American inspired main character in my Sword and Sorcery book, Mark of the Witchworm, which Leo knows all about because we had the premiere right here on the Dorkening a little over a year ago, and that was pretty fun. So yeah. But I'm excited as hell for Prey. I'm super excited that they recorded it in 2 languages as well. I have fully planned on seeing it in Comanche and in English all the way through. Easy.
Nice.
Dying for it.
Velvet.
And you guys know me. I'm known as Rich Davis, aka Velvet Joker. You can find me here every Tuesday on the award-winning Splash Pages, a comic book club podcast. And obviously, you can just see me at Terrificon on. I just recorded some of the panels. You might see me on a question or two. But I'm really happy that we had a great time, a ton of positive interactions, and it's all love, all Joker love.
Yeah.
Hey, and it was great meeting all the extra guys and Steve, a new friend. I appreciate and respect you, and we're gonna keep flourishing, peoples.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I loved meeting you guys.
And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. We have a ton of awesome people doing a ton of awesome stuff like these fine gentlemen here. And just head on over to thedorkening.com and you can find all the latest episodes there. And also Splash Pages. If you go to splashpagesclub.com, I think that goes to the full website, which is like Splash Pages Comic Book Club, whatever. We also have the Comic Book Club on Facebook, so Splash Pages Comic Book Club. So go join that and just, look out for all the awesomeness of Terrificon, all the content coming up. And we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.